This Wit production video brought to you by Yankee Dabbler. Don't forget the 5% discount code BNSS6951. And by Highways and Byways. Excellent graphics for your roads and streets on your model railroad. Check it out. Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another Wit Productions video featuring Vinny Built Structures. Hi, my name is Vinny. I am your host, but I'm also known as BNSF 6951. And then I'm also known as Cousin Vinny. The content you'll see here will be on scratch builds, kit builds, and some kit bashing on model railroad structures. So, if you guys are interested in watching some of these kind of videos, click down here on the icon and subscribe to my channel. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit the bell right next to it. Make sure you do the one with the two little lines on the side so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. With all that being said, come on in, see what I'm doing. Bye for now. Hey guys and gals, welcome back to a Vinny Built Structures video. Wow, it's been a long time since I said those words. Anyhow, we're going to be calling this series, Let's Build Something Wit Da Cuzzzz. So, with that being said, the first thing we're going to do is I am going to show you the tools that will be required for this build. And also I will be showing you the materials that we will need for this build. So with all that being said, let's get started with the video right now. Alright guys, time for me to get you over to the whiteboard and show you what's going on with that and show you all the dimensions I'm going to be using for this building, and we'll carry on from there. So with the magic of video, here we go. Alright guys, this is my whiteboard and this is where I do some of my drawings and stuff like that. And as you can see, I have four drawings up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, actually 5 drawings. And these are going to be the measurements for the structure that we are going to build for my layout. This one here was 5 inches across and 2.5 inches up, but I decided I wanted to make it 5.5 inches, 5.5 inches. This one is 2 by 6. And then we're going to have peak roofs instead of the flat roofs that I showed you in the other building. And then this one here might be a special building that I might do with John Tanzillo. I'm not quite sure yet. I need to talk to him and see what he can do for me. Anyhow, I just wanted to give you an idea what this is going to be. This is for a place on my layout called Sand Plumbing Supply. Anyhow, with all that being said, let's get back to the table and let me show you all the tools and materials that you're going to need. So with all that being said, we'll be right back. Bye. Alright guys, this is going to be part 1 of Let's Build Something Wit Da Cuzzzz. So, a lot of you guys out there have not been into scratch building, and a lot of you guys have been into scratch building. But we are going to start this off as if a lot of guys here are not familiar with doing scratch builds. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over the tools and materials that are needed to do the build that we are going to do. So, with that being said, I guess we should go ahead and get started. So let's see what we got here. Alright, we're going to start off with a couple pencils. I use mechanical pencils. You guys can use whatever you feel comfortable using. And with that, you'll also have to have, here it is right here. I know you can't see that. This is an eraser, and this is an eraser. Highly suggested that you have an eraser on hand. Then, of course, we're going to get to a hobby knife, and always have some spare blades. I recommend that every time you do a build, you change the blade. It makes life a lot easier because the new blade will cut a lot better. Alright, so now we'll move on to straight edges. And as you can see, I've got 3 here. This one is a 6, This one is a 12, and this one is a scale rule. And this is actually a pretty good ruler. It's got 4 different scales on it, plus the inch scale, and also some metric stuff. Anyhow, I like this one here, because it not only has inches on one side, but it's got metric on the opposite side. So that's a good thing to have. Because sometimes when the measurement gets way down to like in the fractions, it's just easier for me to read on the metric side. This is an important tool because you'll have to relate in inches what it is in scale feet. Now we're going to be building an n-scale structure because that's what I model. But anyhow, we'll continue on. Always good to have glue. Without glue, you can't build, right? So anyhow, I use this Model Masters. You guys can use whatever glue you feel comfortable using. Clamps. Clamps are a good thing. They help you when you're putting your models together. And I also have some other stuff that when we actually start doing this build, I will show you those tools as we start using them. So, the next item you should have is some masking tape. Now this is cheapo masking tape. I got it at Walmart. It was like 99 cents for this roll. I would not recommend using this if you're doing painting and you want to mask off certain places. This is not the tape for you. This has very poor adhesion. Alright, you might want to have a set of tweezers. This one here is cool because it opens and it clamps down and stays closed, and this one here is just a fine point. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that fine point. But always good to have tweezers on hand. They will help you with small parts. Alright, now I have various squares and triangles and stuff like that. Now I like this particular one because it's got a ridge right here, and what happens is when you put it up against your work, it locks it in there, and you'll be able to get as long as where it locks into is square, you'll get a nice 90-degree corner. And also this guy is the same thing. It has a lip here also, which is another good thing because you will get another straight line. This and this and one other piece were a set, and I bought these, I can't tell you, probably 20 years ago. This one fell on the floor and it actually broke. I don't know if you can see the crack line right there, but I did glue it back together because it's one of my favorite tools to use. Alright, so and again, for this build that we're doing, you might not be using all of these tools, but then again, you just might be using all of these tools. So I'm just giving you suggestions of what you should have in your toolbox. Some drill bits, and also a pin vise. And I don't know where my pin vise is, otherwise I'd show you that also. Another thing to do, don't throw away all your old knife blades. You can use those if you want to do like joint lines on concrete or on walls and stuff. You can use the back side of them to scribe your mark. So that's a little hint right there. You could, again, like I said, a lot of these tools are not necessary, but they're good to have in your arsenal of tools. A digital caliper. This is a great tool because it can measure stuff right down to the fraction of an inch. And I use this periodically, not all the time, I will be honest with you. Excuse me. But yeah, so this here is a tool that could be used in your arsenal of tools. Now, we got sandpaper. This happens to be 100 grit, but I also have 220 grit. A couple of emery boards, or nail files, or whatever you want to call them. You can get these at Target, at Walmart, or wherever. I recommend that you would have a pair of scissors on hand. A sanding block. This is a fine sanding block. I use this when I want to knock down some, when I cut my styrene, it always winds up with a little ridge. This takes care of that ridge. Alright, now, some other tools that you could use, but it's not necessary for this particular build that we're going to do. And that is a miter with a razor saw, which is always good to have. And this tool right here, I would say you probably should get this. And this is, oops, the chopper. You can get this on my Amazon page. I believe I have it on my Amazon page, but Micromart has these and a couple other places have these. Very, very handy tool, especially when you're going to be cutting a bunch of parts that are the same size. You can set this guy up to whatever size you need. It comes with another one of these which has 2 other angles on it plus this angle, so you got 3 angles to cut. Also, always have a supply of these single edge blades because that's what this takes. It's a single edge blade. Let's see if I can show it to you. Yeah, you can see it right there. Right there. Anyhow, I highly recommend getting this tool. Alright, so with all that being said, now I will show you the materials that you would need to do this project. So stay tuned and we will be right back. Alright guys, before we go any further, I want to let you know that this is also going to be on my live Friday night live streams with Cousin Vinny. I will be doing that and recording it at the same time. So if you guys want to see what's actually happening before the video comes out, then watch my live stream on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anyhow, with that little plug in there, this is the building that we are going to replace. And when I built this was probably 6 years ago. And at the time, I was only able to afford the 99-cent for sale signs. So, with that being said, this building is pretty flimsy. It's been around, like I said, for about 6 years. And what I want to do is I want to rebuild it and make it a little bit better, a little bit stronger, and look a little bit better. So, with that being said, I will get you over to the whiteboard and show you how we're going to redo this. And also, you can see it. I think I'll be putting this up behind me as a visual as I'm showing you guys this stuff. Anyhow, we'll go ahead and take this guy, and I got him just clamped together right now. This build that we are going to do, we're going to do in sections. We're going to do 3 different sections. So this will be one section, and then this will be another section, and this will be a 3rd section. So with that being said, you'd be able to use these buildings either as one unit or different units around your layout. Now the sizes and stuff I'm giving you are regular inches, but you'll have to scale it to your particular scale that you're using. Like HO is going to be 5 inches, but it won't be 50 feet. It'll be 30 feet or something like that. Anyhow, let me put this away on the side here. Now, I am going to be, oops, I dropped my microphone. I didn't feel like pinning it on my lapel. Maybe I should just do it anyhow. Just so it doesn't fall. Alright, anyhow, to do this build, let me get this over here. You're going to need this Evergreen product, which is a number 175, and you'll be using this for corner bracing. I am using, for my particular build, this is called Novelty Siding, and as you can see the number is 4083. But for you HO guys and for you N-scale guys, I recommend getting the 12-inch by 24-inch sheet of this stuff. It's expensive. It's 20 bucks, but out of that one sheet, you probably, the N scale guys can get at least 3 bills, and your HO guys can probably get 2 bills out of it. So that is up to you. Otherwise, you can use regular styrene. Now this is 30 thousandths or 1 millimeter, and you can also get this from Evergreen. And I don't know the number, but you can go to evergreen.com and you'll see up there, you'll have a selection of different stuff like strips and sheets and all different kinds of stuff. I don't recommend doing anything smaller than 30 thousandths, which is 0.030. I wouldn't recommend going anything smaller than that. Again, with these sheets, you're better off buying the 12-inch by 24-inch sheet. That'll give you the most bang for your buck. All right. And just to show you, this was a 12-inch by 24-inch sheet. It's still the 24 inches here, but it's I cut pieces off of this to do some other projects. All right. So I am also going to be using on my build for the small building. I think the prototype is actually a brick building, so I am going to be using this Plastruct product, which is a brick fascia. I would not recommend building the entire building out of this because, as you can see, it's pretty flimsy. So do not use this to actually build your project. All right, let's see what else we got here. Again, this is all going to be N scale, so I'm showing you N scale parts. You guys will have to look up specific parts for your build that you're going to do. So with that being said, from my office that's going to be in this particular build, I'm going to use this Pike stuff. It's called Modern and Double Door. This is what it's called, and that's what it looks like. I don't know if you guys can see that. There you go. All right, and then I'm not sure if I'm going to be using these windows, but it is a TG group, and you can see the number there. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to use these windows. I'm going to go on to Grantline's new website and see what they got. I'd rather use them because they have more modern and more selection of windows. For people doors, I'm going to use another TG group. And these are the steel doors. Now, again, guys, these are N scale, so you need to look up if you're doing an HO scale. If you're going to use these particular doors and stuff like that, you need to go to the TG group and look it up for whatever number that might be. All right. I think that's about everything. Now, oh, one other thing you're going to need. You're going to need a piece of this poster board or whatever you want to call it, and I'll show you why in a second here. So with all that being said, hang on and let me get set up for the next part of this video. Alright guys, one thing I did forget to mention, the reason why we do a mock-up is so we can see if the building is going to look good before you actually start cutting plastic, because the plastic can get pretty spendy. Now, I also mentioned about the Evergreen, the big sheet of 12 by 24. If you go to Home Depot, and I'm pretty sure Lowe's has the same thing, if you look in their for sale sign section, wherever that might be, they have one sign there. It's at least the 1 millimeter thick, and it's not quite as big as the Evergreen product. I think it's like just about 1 inch shorter one way and 2 inches shorter the other way. But anyhow, that's only $8.95, and you can use that. But there are certain tricks. You need to sand it down so the glue will stick, and so on and so forth. Anyhow, that's all I have to say. Talk to you in a bit. What are the 3 most important tools that you have in your toolbox, and you also have it with you every day and every night and every year and so on and so forth? Can you tell me what those 3 items are? Well, I will tell you. The 3 most important tools you'll have in your toolbox is, number 1, is your hands. Number 2 is your eyes. And number 3 is the computer up here. All of these things need to work together so you will get a good model. Now, like I said, I dropped down the size, I added size to one of the mock-ups because when I looked at it, my brain was telling me something doesn't look right. The proportions of the building don't look right. So, with that being said, I went ahead and changed the size. So, I will show you what I have now mock-up, and this is what you're going to be using your poster board for. I did 2 of the structures, and they are the 2 top ones. Now, the prototype, I'm not sure if they even have this building there. It's my layout, so I'm doing what I want to do, and that seems to be the general rule for everybody, right? So, with that being said, I built one, and this is the one I changed the size on. It was originally 5 inches. I made it 5.5 inches, but the width and the peaked roof, which is the original building, does not have a peaked roof. And then this one is the second part of that, and most likely this is how they're going to be on my layout. And with the third building coming out the side over here, and that will be track side. Anyhow, with all that being said, I hope this video was informative for you guys, and I'm looking forward to doing this. This is Let's Build Something Wit Da Cuzzzz #1. Like I said, I will be doing the build actually on my live stream, but I will be recording it at the same time, so I'll be able to produce a video for you guys that do not watch my live stream but watch my videos. With all that being said, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell, leave a comment, and give me a thumbs up. For now, that's all, folks. Vinny Builds Structures, out for now.